Okay, here is the speed run of the EVE Online Excel Esports case. This was the final case for the 2023 championship. I'm going to be using lambdas and VBA that you can download the file in the link at the description. All right, so to figure out this Thrasher thing, I've got to look up the cost of the ship on this table here that's got merge in it. So I want to get rid of that merge. So I look up the name of the ship on here, returning just on the first one, right? Times the price divided by 1,000, rounded to 0 places according to the instructions. All right, so for level 2, it's similar, but I got to look up, all the minerals here. So I look up this on here, returning all the minerals. Right, so now it is this times this, still in, or times 1.1 for a markup. I'm still in thousands of ifs, and I still round to the 0, right? Got to, sum up these values, right? Could do that before I multiply. That'll work. All right, so now I got to mess with the colors here. So I'm gonna pull down these colors to make a little color lookup. Gonna just copy this, and I say, all right, so well, here I'll do is I've got a get color user defined function here. So X lookup get color of there on the color codes, returning the ship names with all that locked. And I can put that there. I don't want those NAs, so I'm going to do that. And I should be in good shape now to do what? I'm going to transpose this. Then I'm going to transpose these guys. Now I got to do the same thing I did last time, right? Which is look up the mineral vector for each of these ships, right? So how much minerals of each type is each ship cost, and then with this being locked, right? So now I've got this two-dimensional array that I can multiply by what? I need the prices also, so I got this annoying thing that I got to deal with. So just going to delete all the trash out of here because I want these to end up as vectors in the same format as the like ship cost table. So I just got to delete all this stuff and turn this into an actual date. So that is the date. I'll make them numbers since I have the date right next to it anyway. This thing also like just goes off the bottom for no reason, which is weird. So I'm gonna clean that up. All right, so on level 3, I gotta look up the date. On the dates, returning the prices. So now I've got this two-dimensional array here times this one-dimensional array here times this other one-dimensional array here, right? So all that stuff is gives me a nice array of the same dimensions as I was before, but I can do that. I'm gonna do that times 1.1 divided by 10 to the 6th, and then round that all to the 0 is, I hope, going to be the answer, and it is. Oh, but I didn't account for some of the ship things being absent, right? So if this is missing, then a 0. Right, there we go. Now I got level 3. All right, now it's time to look at the asteroids. I'm just gonna change this to M for map. Gonna copy it. I gotta deal with the colors here. So get rid of this and say equals X lookup, get color of this cell, right, on the asteroids here, right, returning on the colors, which I'm going to put here even though it's not there yet. I'm going to keep these locked. Otherwise, nothing. And I got to actually put the colors there now, right? So here, I'm just going to do, equals get color of this. I messed up the colors, but that's fine. I don't need the colors of my get colors to be good. This 40 to 43, 40 to 43. Get color equals get color of the original map is there, right? So X lookup that on the color list locked, returning on the asteroid list locked. Oh, is it because of the merge? That's right. Always trying to trick us with these merges. No merge, thank you. And now instead of going B to E, I just, B to B, please. All right, so that is going to get pasted in. I don't care about that. I will add a way to handle missing because otherwise you got all those ugly errors there. Okay, so now I've got the asteroids, right? So let's start with X2 call of the asteroid field here, right? And then X2 call of the colors of the asteroid field, which is, or not the colors, but the type of asteroid, which is here, and that's lined up. Hopefully, ooh, it's not lined up because of that R. I got to get rid of the R. I don't care about where the ship is. I need to know the values of these, right? So I need to know the units is just simply this times 1,000 according to the instructions. And then the value is, so we're always using the most recent price now. For the rest of this, for all the rest of the levels, we're just using these 4 price values. Right? So now equals, look up the name of the mineral, right? The type it is, or the name of the asteroid on the mineral list, right? And these have got to stay locked because I'm going to copy it down in a second. That's got to be multiplied by this, which is also locked, right? This is added together to get the value of 1 unit times the number of units is the value of the whole thing. So X lookup this on here, returning here. I need it as what? Probably as millions rounded to the 0, right? So round that as millions to the zeros. And if there is no asteroid there, put a 0 according to the instructions. All right, let's check my points so far. 620 is a nice round number. Yeah, all right. All right, so now is another asteroid-based one. I need to, in addition to the value, I care about the volume, right? So the volume is based on the volume of 1 unit, right? Which I have to look up. So if I look up the asteroid name and have this, that is the volume of 1 unit of this thing, right? And I know how many units I have, so that's the volume of the whole thing. All right, so this is the pre-skill values. Your skill makes it so you're only going to get a certain amount, right? I'm going to move these prices over somewhere so they're not in my way. All right, so the skill formula, according to the instructions, is 75% plus your skill level times 5%, right? So that multiplier will determine what happens to the value and the volume. So you look up the name of the mineral locked on the skill multiplier, and those are our skill multipliers, and the skill multiplier you multiply by both the value and the volume, right, to get the post skill value and volume. All right, now we're going to go on a space cruise. So let's transpose this here and look up the value and the volume of each asteroid, first of all. So I look up on the asteroids, the post-skill value and volume. But, the asteroid list really should stay locked so it doesn't miss asteroids. I need to know my capacity, right? So this is the value and volume. That's capacity. Capacity starts at 27,500. So how much am I going to take? Well, I'm going to take the minimum of the space of my ship and how much volume the thing takes up. All right, so take as a percentage is this divided by this. That's the percentage that I take. So the value is the value of the whole thing times the percentage that I took. All right. In this case, we don't ever fill up the bars, but in some of these others, we're going to fill up the bars, so it matters. So I sum up these, and I divide by 10 to the 6 again, and I round to the 0 again, just like the last few levels. Now in level 6 is very similar, but instead of going on a predefined set, I'm going to go based on a priority level. Right, so the priority level for each asteroid, oh, that's not even close to spelling priority. Priority level is the value per volume is the main priority, but there's also a tiebreaker, right? So plus what? The volume, bigger volume. So volume over, I don't know, 10,000. That's never more than 1, but it'll act as a tiebreaker here. So we're not following a path. Instead, what we're doing is sort by the asteroid locations by the priority and descending order is these. All right, and how much I take. Oh, I'm not even subtracting the capacity. That's bad. There's no way this is right then. So yeah, it's not going up by 1 each time. It's going down by that much each time. So let's say I do that as the answers to level 5. All right, see where we are in level 5. Yeah, level 5 is good now. Levels, so I'm going to use this. First one is fine, but then the rest can be based on this, right? So now this goes away here. I got to pay for fuel also, right? Fuel cost. So for the first, I start in F10, right? So for the first one, I use my distance formula to go from F10 to H9. This is the I'm allowed to go diagonal, so it's the chessboard or Chebyshev distance formula, which I have a lambda for. And that's the number of squares. Each square costs 1,000,000 ISK. But only if I actually go there, right? Well, I'm always going to go the first one. Let's do one that's not the first one. Now I'm not going from the barge. I'm going from here to there times 1,000,000, but only if the taken percentage is greater than 0, right? Otherwise, I'm going to spend 0 on fuel. So now is the sum of the money that I made minus the sum of the fuel cost. Take that and round to the 0, but only after putting it in millions of ISK. So again, I've got to divide by 10 to the 6. All right, there's level 6. Okay, level 5 is a little something different. Now we're going to mine not the asteroids from the map, but we're going to mine different asteroids each time. And we're not going to sell them. We're going to use it to produce a ship instead. So the prices don't even matter for this one. The colors matter though. So I got to do the same thing I did before, right? Which is basically just copy this over and then do, you know, XLOOKUP, get color of this, right? Looking up on the color list here, locked, returning on, same thing as in B is the list of asteroids. And I don't need a missing because they should never be missing. Yeah, Valspar is good. Well, I mean, they'll be missing in the in-between row, which is fine. All right. So if I take that and paste it that way, right, I get all my nice colors here. And I'm going out to DI. So I'm going to have to extend my lookup here to DI. Now I transpose some of this stuff here, right? Those are the names of the asteroids. Units matters, right? So that's this number in this box times that. I need to know what my skill multiplier is, right? So I'm going to do my mineral. Well, I'll do skill multiplier first. So skill multipliers is the same formula from before, right? Just bring that over here. And then I look up this on here, locked, returning on here, locked. So now my minerals are look up Veldspar, right? Or whatever the name of the thing is. Look that up on here, locked, returning on the 4 minerals, locked, times the skill. All right, there we go. So that's how much I'm going to get out of each of these, times the units also. That's how much is in one unit times the number of units. So that's how many units of each mineral I'm going to get. Now I can sum these up, you know, column-wise here to get my, you know, my total minerals. Need to build some ships. And the ships I need to build are the Griffin and the Thrasher, right? Which their costs are here. So there's the Griffin and the Thrasher costs. So how many Thrashers come first? How many Thrashers can I make? Well, this divided by this, right? But it's the integer, right? Because I can't make a partial one. And it's whichever one of these is the lowest, right? It's the limiting factor, right? If I run out of any one of these, I got to stop. So it's the minimum of that is the number of Thrashers I can make. So now what's left after that? So the starting minerals minus the number of Thrashers I made number of Thrashers I actually made times what it costs to make a Thrasher. So now how many Griffins can I make, right? Is this divided by the cost of 1 Griffin, right? And then the integer part of this, the minimum of this, and I have to do G, right? Because I want T something, G something. So that is set up like this, right? My mouse is in the wrong place, but let's see if that is good enough. Yes. So hopefully that will give me 1,500 points so far. It does. All right, how much amber do you need? So here is amber to make a Megathron. It's just these two, right? So equals this divided by this. It's whichever one of these. This is like the inverse of what I did before. So it's whichever one of these is greater is how much I need. I also need to round up, right? I need to use the ceiling because I can't make a partial ship. I got to round up to know how much of the things I have to make, and then I have to divide by the unit volume, right? So this divided by the volume of amber, no, sorry, times the unit volume times the volume of amber is the correct answer there. All right, cheapest Drake in October. All right, so how much does a Drake cost? Well, depends on the day, right? So now what I'm going to do is take, I'm not even looking up anything. I'm just taking the cost of the Drake, right? Which is that locked. So that times this, sum that up, times 1.1, I think, maybe on this one. Yep, and remember the 10% markup. So that is how much it costs on each day. What about if it's October? Well, let's check the month here. And then I want the cheapest of a Drake in thousands. So equals the minimum of these Drake cost divided by 1,000, rounded to the 0 is there. I'm going to buy a Megatron and sell it for a profit. How much profit can I make? So this is very similar to what we just did. Except now, instead of a Drake, right, I'm going to make a Megatron, right? So Drake is in 35, Megatron's in 36. So I just changed this row to 36. And that is the price on each day. All right, so let's say I can't buy it on the last day. Then I cannot sell it. So this is going to be my profit. So let's say I buy it on the second to last day. So my profit then is the maximum of the future, like L $ for, right? What's the best price I can sell it for in the future minus what price did I buy it for today, right? So that's the profit. And it would be a loss if you sold it on the second to last day. But I'll bet there's a way to make a profit. Let's see. So equals the max profit from here divided by 10 to the 6th, rounded again to the 0. It's 49 million in profit. All right. Compare the asteroids with the price on November 1st, not on the last day, but on November 1st. So it's basically, the same as one of these, right? Where do we find the prices of asteroids? This one, right? So it's the same as this one. I'm just going to change the day, right? So now what if instead of November whatever, we use November 1st and we use these prices, right? So now in this, it's bonus 4, I think. So now we use these prices, which changes the value. And what do I want? The biggest value? Oh, the highest value in per unit cost, right? So the volume, I mean, I don't figure it out on this level, but I do figure it out in the next level, right? This is the base volume before the skill, right? So I put in this volume is this divided by this. So the maximum of this, it says what? Round to the nearest integer. So round this to the 0. Finally, what minerals are not used in level 6, right? So this one's a little tricky because the skill is in play here, right? I need to know the original volume, right? and then the percentage that was used, right? Because that's the percentage of this percentage of the original volume is going to get used. So this is what's left is 1 minus this percentage, right? Times not the post-scale volume, but the original pre-scale volume. So that, not as a percentage anymore, but as a number, is the total volume left over. Is that the answer? Volume? Yep, nearest cubic meter. So is the bonus 5 here equals the sum of this, not including the example. So sum this up, round that to 0 decimal places. And not quite right. All right. Having a problem on the last one here. Let's see, I've done it in level 6. This is going to be B5 now. Think about this one for a second here. Is what the percent taken is the original volume. So the percent not taken times, oh no, because these aren't, this is sorted in a different way. I got to look up the original volume, right? Okay, I get it. The pre-scale volume is only on this original, which is not sorted the same. All right, so now you do this volume, right? And these have got to stay locked. All right, and then this times this is this value here. All right, 27 minutes, 49 seconds. Thank you for watching. Bye.